My travels have brought me to the city of Burlington, North Carolina, and I'm gonna do some exploring. Starting with this old train station, which caught my eye here in the center of town. An absolutely charming and ever so rare sight in cities today, as old buildings like this are frequently cleared away to make way for the new. Here's a sculpture. The plaque on its base is a bit hard to read, so let me help you out. This stone turntable was installed during the mid-1850s in the original company shop's railroad repair facilities, located approximately 100 yards east-southeast of this point. Railroad tracks were mounted on the stone, so locomotives could be driven onto the turntable. The stone could then be rotated and the locomotives be driven off in another direction. The turntable would have been much larger than this stone, which leads me to believe the stone may have been the center pivot point of the turntable. These figures honor the shop workers, passengers, and this one, the road gangs. The town of Burlington has a bit of interesting history. A history that begins in the 1850s, during a time when a new form of transportation, called railroads, were rapidly expanding into the interior of the continent, crisscrossing the land and connecting small towns and settlements that had taken hold. This included North Carolina. It was January of 1856 when a company called the North Carolina Railroad finished a 200-mile-long rail line that started in the town of Goldsboro. It meandered through places like Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Salisbury, and ended in the town of Charlotte. The line provided a vital transportation artery through the very heart of North Carolina, which fostered growth all along its path. Like all mechanical creations, the railroad needed constant service and repair to keep it running smoothly. The North Carolina Railroad acquired land near the halfway point on their new line and built a maintenance yard to service and repair the railroad and its equipment. Before they knew it, the railroad company had created a small community. A community that was given one of the most creative and thoughtful names, the company shops. Originally built in 1892 by the North Carolina Railroad Company, it hasn't been used as a railroad station in decades. However, it is a wonderful focal point for Burlington's downtown and is a rare and absolutely charming reminder of the golden age of passenger trains. Here's a nice-looking caboose. You won't see these at the end of a train anymore. Only a few years after the railroad opened, the clouds of war loomed on the horizon. In 1861, the American Civil War broke out. North Carolina seceded from the United States and joined the Confederacy. During the busy years of the war, the railroad authorized a plan to lay out streets and began selling land to private owners. Today, the modern-day station is across the road. The building dates from the 1850s and was originally the engine repair shop. After an extensive renovation, it reopened in 2003 and now houses, among other things, the modern-day Amtrak station. Plus, in the building's lobby, there's a nice museum dedicated to the railroad that put Burlington on the map. The Civil War ended in 1865, and a year later the town was formally incorporated. The town leaders must have thought long and hard about what to officially call their community, because, I almost can't believe it, they stayed with the old name, the Company Shops. Imagine being asked, "Where are you from?" and responding, "I'm from the Company Shops, North Carolina." Time continued to move forward. Over the next 25 years, the fine folks of the Company Shops, North Carolina, saw changes taking place at the railroad. There were mergers, acquisitions, and changes in management. The repairs once completed at the Company Shops, North Carolina, were going elsewhere, and the shops were closing. In 1887, a committee was formed to hold a naming contest. The townspeople were asked to submit ideas on a new community name. One of those citizens apparently saw a boxcar rolling through town one day, emblazoned with large white letters. He jotted down the word and entered the contest. Apparently, the committee also liked what this citizen saw, because his entry won the contest. The town would no longer be called the Company Shops, North Carolina. From that point onward, it would forever be known as Burlington. Wow, part of the original blueprints for the shops. No wonder trains remain so popular. Here's an image of the turntable. Here's a list of the original street names and where the names came from. I thought this was interesting. The Burlington Coffin Company. Known as the Carolina Coffin Company in the days when the area was called the Company Shops, the Burlington Coffin Company reorganized into one of the town's major industries. It was the first coffin company between Cincinnati and Atlanta. The town of Burlington has been exceedingly resourceful over the years. As the city lost railroad business, it was quickly replaced with other industries, textiles, and even aircraft manufacturing during World War II, and today with health science industry. This part of the museum is dedicated to a man who, as legend has it, had railroading flowing through his veins. It's the story of George Cleveland Mitchell, a worker on the Southern Railroad during the 1920s and 30s. And as Paul Harvey was known for saying, And now you know the rest of the story. Remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thanks for watching.